Well, hello, Maud Séjournant. I'm so happy to have you directly from Santa Fe to France, and you accept to do this interview in English. Thank you so much.
Of course, I live here in Santa Fe.
Ah, this is beautiful. You have a beautiful background behind you.
Mhm.
Absolutely magnificent. How did this came about?
Well, actually, this is the wall of my office. And I wanted to live in a very nice environment when I work. And I decided to continue the landscape that I see from my window.
Mm.
And a friend who is a good artist did that for me. And I love it. Every day when I go to my office, I love it.
Oh, and you have a special surrounding. Santa Fe, I heard from many people, is absolutely magnificent. There's a special energy there. You have the
Yep.
Indians, you have the nature. What is up with Santa Fe? What's so special
Well,
about it? Tell us.
Well, I think first there is something you cannot even describe.
Mm.
So I won't describe it. You have to be here to know, to feel it. It's an experience. Now, besides that, for me, I see the beauty of the landscape, of the rocks, of the colors, of the stones, and how diverse it is. You have the forest when you go just a few kilometers or miles up, and you have the desert, and you have plateau, and you have rocks. Everything is there. I think it's wonderful. It's
And
very high.
you have the Indians that are doing their little thing, their traditions. There's you're
Yes,
anchored in historical and in a pueblo.
yes. There are about 20 pueblos around here, and all have their very unique tradition. Actually, there are 5 languages that are spoken around them, and they don't necessarily understand each other. And they all come from a very old tribe within called the Anasazi, who were in Chaco Canyon. And that's why I love to go to Chaco Canyon, because it's a canyon where there are ruins and still the spirits of the ancient ones who were there between the 10th century and the 12th century. I didn't even know that when I arrived here, that there would be ruins.
Mm. But
So, and
what you're explaining in your books also is that we have actually lost that those rituals. We have lost those traditions. We have lost. We're in a society that moves ahead at such a fast pace that we forgot some things that truly can anchor us. Can you tell us more about what is a ritual, how that can transform our life, and how can we use it in our lives?
yeah, the Indian pueblos continue to do their dance and their rituals. And it's very important. Many people go to see that because they feel the loss in
Yeah.
their own culture of rituals. I think many of us have been brought in a way where rituals were misunderstood or not understood, and they didn't like it. They felt, oh, I don't want to repeat a form that doesn't mean anything to me. That's why I always encourage people to find their own form, to create their own ritual, because it has to have a meaning for them. It has to touch them inside. That's what the role of the ritual is about, to be touched deep inside in our body, in our emotions, in our mind, in our spirit. So we are aligned, we are one with oneself, thanks to those rituals.
So what is technically speaking a ritual? What type of ritual can we practice in our lives, or that you recommend?
Well, Indians still do ritual that can last 4 or 5 days.
Oh,
And yes, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something that can take 1 minute every morning, is when we get up, go outside or look through the window towards the east, possibly looking at the sun, and just be aware that the sun is rising again. We are going to have a new day. We are going to have light and warmth. And we are going to be prepared for this life of this day and thank it. Often Navajo people would give pollen of corn or corn flour or like an offering for thanking. We can do that. We can do whatever we want or just have a good thought. And it lasts 1 minute.
And
That's
in some
it.
of your, from my understanding too, in some of your workshops that you do actually right in Santa Fe, you have this other ritual of literally going around a fire and burning some things that you want to get rid of, for lack of a better term, you know, get rid of in your life. What is that process? So it's really a letting go, okay, this is enough with this and now I'm ready to physically let go. Is that what happens?
Yeah, well, the process takes a little time to know what we want to let go of. That's important. And then once we know what we want to let go of, we can do something that will engage the body, because the body keeps all kind of memory and knowing. So if we engage the body, it will be really done. It will help our mind and our emotions to release what was a burden before. So for example, we can do it with a fire. Fire is a purification element. So we can start a fire and already prepare the fire together, which is an important part of the ritual, and then put in the fire what we want to let go of, and know it will be transformed, it will go away, and feel truly the transformation that it does. You can do that also using other elements like a river, and put it in a river. There are other, in Thailand, for example, every year they do a little, like a boat.
Oh, yes,
with
yes, I've seen that.
a banana, maybe you have seen that,
Yeah.
with a banana trunk.
Yeah.
And a banana tree trunk, and then they put a candle and flowers, etc., and they put it on the river, and it goes and takes away all the things of the year. So, you know, you can find many ways to do it that will be meaningful to you. The important thing is that you feel it's done when you do it because of your action.
And then what, from this space, what happens afterwards? Because it's quite a scary place, or some of us are probably resisting to let go of this because behind is uncertain. How do you deal with this uncertainty?
Well, sometimes you can be aware of what you would like to have instead. So you are like letting go something for welcoming and taking in something better, something softer, something that will be good for you.
Mm-hmm.
So
because some people say, some people in the process of creation say, oh, you know, I'm let me be the recipient of whatever you want, whatever, you know, source wants out of me. Please use my body, please use me. Or some other people say, oh, you really have to put your thought out there. I mean, how do we actually co-create a universe? What is your view about this? How this mechanism works?
okay. Well, it's a pretty complex thing, but in general, there are three important elements.
Okay.
The first one is to be aware with our mind of our intention. The power of intention is huge. And intention is creating a clear direction towards something we would like to create. So it's really about creation. It's starting a movement where life will come in to take form. That's what an intention is.
Which is different than imposing our own perception of how it should happen.
It is different from an expectation. An expectation is, well, it's going to be exactly like this, with this little image like that, and this little fur here and the red dot at the top.
Yeah.
No. We can be disappointed if we feel we are in control of the way it happens.
Yeah.
Because what we do, we start a movement, an intention, a receptacle, actually, a grail. So what will come and manifest will have a place to go into. So that's the first thing, is the intention. The second is getting our emotional body involved, be really into it.
And ready.
Oh, it's like, oh yeah, I want to have a new car, just, oh, maybe, oh, no, it's like, I really want to create this business. I really want to have this thing happen. It's important. My life is going to be...
You're physically engaging into it.
It's emotionally first.
Emotionally.
Having enthusiasm, having faith, having trust in yourself, in the universe, etc.
That's a big one.
Then third, and I tell you what is in the way of that. It's all our screens and our obstacles. We have obstacles. But the third level is action. Because if we stay in the corner of our room in a lotus position, waiting that everything happens without us doing anything, no, big mistake. Yeah. So we need to take action. And actually, when we are clear on our intention, when we are engaged with our emotional body, things come naturally. You don't need to force anything. It's natural. You just, oh, I check the phone. I call this person. Oh, yeah, wow.
Synchronicity happens.
Then we are opening a space. We are opening a space for synchronicity to happen, yes. And it's important also that we have the heart open to receive it. Sometimes people ask, they get, but they don't open their hands. They don't reach for it. It passes next to them. I give you an example. My book, for example, my first book, Le Cercle de Vie in French, I met someone I did articles for, and he's also a publisher. And he said, we talked about articles, and he said, well, all this thing, why don't you do your own book? And then we talked about something else. One sentence. And then I said, yeah, well, I have all these notes and this experience and this thing. Yeah, why not? So I caught, since he's a publisher, I thought, and after he said, yeah, I'll see what I'll do with your book. I caught it. I grasped it, and I said, okay, there is a possibility there, and I worked on it. It just not happened, Writing was an everyday, piece of work, and it took me actually almost 2 years to do it. But I did it, and finally it's out because I heard one sentence that I grasped. So I didn't even think of it. I didn't even ask for it before, but I received it. And receiving is very important for manifesting.
You were in a place of openness, of being a recipient for, and at the same time you were giving, I guess, a lot. You were there in the present moment.
Yeah. I took it like, oh, it's for me. I can use that, I can use that. So I think we have lots of opportunities that come around us that we don't see.
Yeah. And then the more you start seeing them, the more then you're present to it, and the more life accelerates and the more joy there is. And as you say in your books very well, and that then life becomes simple, and you're pleased with pleasure, and then this planet becomes heaven on earth.
Right, because you are seeing more and more the beauty of things, the abundance of things that you don't have to measure in terms of material quantity, but it can be the little smile of a waiter when she gives the coffee, and that feels, like we say in English, that makes your day, fills your heart. So, or it can be a letter of your son, giving news or whatever, many things that we can give more value to. Changing values. So seeing the intangible, the invisible having more value that what we paid for before. Yeah.
And you wrote a
And you
book,
wrote a book,
The Intelligence of the
Intelligence
Heart.
of the Heart.
Was it
Was it
translated
translated
in English?
English? The Cercle de Vie, Le Cercle de Vie. It's my book, not the,
Oh
the
pardon,
other one.
excusez-moi, alors je vais enlever parce que j'avais vu quelque part l'intelligence du cœur, mais c'était pas vous.
No.
Alors ça devait être, ça devait être dans les explications. Alors attendez, je vais repartir. So you met Don Miguel Ruiz, and you have actually worked with him. And can you tell us a little bit the experience of meeting? I mean, he's the man. Talking about the heart.
Yes, definitely. He's the man talking, not only talking about the heart, he's the man of the heart. He's there permanently. You know, that's why people want to meet him so much and connect with him. And his children now are continuing this tradition and this energy because he has integrated all this Toltec mythology that he has explained in his books, that he teaches, and it is the manifestation of what he teaches, you know.
And a man of the heart transforms other people along the way, don't they? He transformed your life.
Definitely. I think so many of us are trying to change the world around us, to change other people, to change the context or anything outside of ourselves. And actually, the main thing is to transform ourselves, to transform our view, our perception of what is around us. And when we give to ourselves this love, this acceptance, then our view is transformed also. And also, before we can transform our view, we have to take away all the stuff that is between ourselves and reality. Most of us have glasses.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
we
yeah.
look at the universe through those glasses that have been built by the ideas, the beliefs, the shoulds, the must, the education, whatever, of different contexts, culture, etc. around us. And we have taken it without questioning because we were children. We had no way to not believe it. So we live actually with this terrible screen that is made of what is not ours, what we have not created. So there is a time that comes where you need to question this and to say, do I want to continue to see life through these dark glasses? Or do I want to really see what is? Because when you take off this, what is beautiful, is loving, is magnificent, no matter what. So this is an extremely important thing to do for the greening of the planet, you know. It's not only about recycling or trash. It's recycling the trash we have in front of our eyes. And I think it's major to be able to do that and go back to our integrity, to our true self, that can be happy with seeing all this magnificence and don't need all this stuff, you know, that American life has a lot of.
So rituals can help us in that project. And do you have any other tools that we can use?
Well, yes. Actually, the tool is to become inside a jaguar.
I like that.
Yes. To be a jaguar, which is the best hunting animal. We need to hunt all this stuff, this parasite, because inside of these glasses, of this screen, it's a living entity. All these beliefs, all this must, should rule our life. We are completely conditioned by it. We do every movement and action and thoughts almost are ruled by that. So it's a living entity within us. So we need to develop this connection with this inner jaguar which is this attention, very much in the moment for everything we feel, we think, we do, and have this jaguar behind us here that will say, hey, is that yours? Is that really your thing? Do you really want to do that? Does that belong to you? You know, etc., etc. So little by little, we can take the layers off and then see the world and then create the world as, you know, and as its image of what it is already, beautiful and abundant and loving.
Oh, I love that little jaguar thing. It really, and plus it's exciting because it's an animal, and then it brings that kind of energy inside. It's really, really inspiring. I had never heard this before.
Yeah. So
Well,
it's the
thank you
jaguar,
very
the
much.
tortoise.
I know you do seminars all around the world, including in Santa Fe. And
I will do actually initiation of this jaguar way and of this going to Chaco Canyon, which is very close, where the Anasazi Indian lived in the 10th century.
Okay.
And actually they were meeting with the Toltec that came from Central America, because in Chaco they were meeting, all the tribe were meeting. So there is a whole initiation that is in place there, and I want to take people there. Also, if they are far, we can work through the phone, because I have a 6-month program.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I'm sorry?
I saw that. Yeah, 6 months over the phone, and we can just it's phone conference call around the world.
Right, you can call from all over the world, and we start once or twice a year, and we make a group, because I think in a group you learn much better, you help each other, you learn the energy of a group, and you have instructions every month on which you are going to work to learn to be the jaguar, and then learn to transform the prey that you got, the parasite that you got that was inside, to transform it as an ally and use that resource for yourself and transform. And all what you learn during 6 months, then you can apply in your life, in your daily life, to create a life of love, no more fear, but awareness, deep awareness.
Lovely. Well,
And that's
amazing. I am so happy we got to do this interview. You are very... It's been a pleasure interviewing you. You're definitely a person that lives from the heart. You're a woman of the heart. I sense it. I feel it. It's a pleasure to interview you. Thank you so much, Maud Séjournant.
Thank you very much.